Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Hope Mill, North Carolina, as we bring you the East Coast Basketball League Game of the Week. I'm Petey Doris, colleague Craig Green, inside the Hope Mill Community Center here in Hope Mill, North Carolina, as we have the 5-1 Winston-Salem Wolves, which we have not seen yet, matching up with the 2-3 Panthers from Fayetteville. Craig, this game right here, just 2 weeks ago, Fayetteville lost at Winston-Salem by 14. Tonight, they need to pick up the big win because they're on a 3-game skid right now.
Looking to get off of that 3-game losing streak are the Fayetteville Panthers. And again, looking back at March 10th, that game at the Carver High School took place. And, 131-117. In the second half, again, Winston-Salem just 76 points, a little too much to overcome in the second half. I mean, hot shooting, just too much for Fayetteville to overcome in the fourth quarter. In the third quarter, 43 points in the fourth quarter, outscored by 10. And again, Fayetteville looking to get off the schneid today, and we'll see what they've got. They've got a full squad. They're ready to go, and they've been out here practicing for about an hour, getting themselves ready for today's game.
Yeah, and, Winston-Salem picked up the big win yesterday against the primetime players on the road yesterday to Rock Hill, South Carolina, and coming all the way back to the other side of the state of North Carolina. Fatigue could be a factor for Winston-Salem Wolves today. They're setting a 5-1. They have a bullseye on their back. Everybody wants to knock them off because the only one team ahead of them is the DC Heat, who is still undefeated by beating the Capitals yesterday.
And everybody knows the primetime players. I mean, one of the dynasties of the East Coast Basketball League. When you see them across from you on the floor, you're going to give it everything you got. Everybody gives PTP their best shot. We saw a few weeks ago the East Coast Basketball Game of the Week with the Capitals against PTP. They were game, they were ready, but they just couldn't keep up with the primetime players. And the Wolves pretty much, did they empty the tank yesterday trying to get that win on the road at Legion Collegiate Academy? We'll see. A big game from Mike Chambers, 38 points on the road. I mean, that's a lot to do against a team like the primetime players who, again, the class of the East Coast Basketball League for several years. So, again, can that kind of game travel again and come here to Fayetteville, right outside of Fayetteville, and do that here against the Fayetteville Panthers and do it one more time and get the 2-0 advantage in the early part of the season?
Yeah, coming in this week in the power rankings in the East Coast Basketball League, the DC Heat stood at number 1 with the big bullseye on their back, and the primetime players were number 2, followed by the Winston-Salem Wolves, who defeated the primetime players. Will we see the Winston-Salem Wolves jump to number 1 over the DC Heat, who picked up a win yesterday only by 8 at home, 130-122? But Craig, either way, the Fayetteville Panthers have a game on hand today right here at Hope Mill Community Center.
And if they want to keep their division title hopes alive, you got to win here today at home. I mean, they're sitting at 2-3. They're in third place right now in the division. Winston-Salem right now sitting at 5-1 at the top. So, you don't want to fall to 2-4 early on and end up trailing by at least 3 games, and then also have 2 losses in the column against the first place team, which is not a good look, for Fayetteville. So I expect Fayetteville to come out here with their best foot forward and motivated and playing with a lot of energy today. And we'll see if that, results in a win for them.
Yeah, Craig, like you said, Winston-Salem at 5-1, top of the Northern Conference in the East Coast Basketball League. The Fayetteville Panthers are 2.5 games back. You can get one of those games back today. And then, coming down towards the end of the season with only 6 weeks to go in the season, a lot can happen in the final 6 weeks because a lot of players will start to get contracts overseas, this and that. Summertime's coming on. Players start showing up, not showing up. So, the cream of the crop is to try to keep the same team all the way through. Every year we see one team prevail to the top by losing players and gaining players by other teams. I'm Petey Doris, Craig Green here. We're moments away from starting your game of the week on the East Coast Basketball League YouTube channel presented by High Level Media. We'll be right back here with the starting lineups for today and the final thoughts. You're watching and listening to East Coast Basketball League Game of the Week.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Here's 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mom my.
At Cardinal Family Dentistry, we are honored to serve the community of Apex by providing honest, compassionate dental care. We focus on preventative care and education to make sure all of our patients enjoy optimal dental health, and we offer judgment-free treatment if you're in need of a corrective procedure. Dr. Barker and the rest of the Cardinal Family Dentistry team want to be a resource for you when it comes to your dental health. So we always keep you well informed and offer honest guidance to help you make the best decisions for you and your family. Give them a call today at 919-589-5001. That's 919-589-5001. Or visit them online at cardinalfamilydentistry.com.
Sinclair Broadcast Group Incorporated was founded in 1986 and is one of the largest and most diversified television broadcasting companies in the country. Sinclair owns and operates, programs, and provides sales services to 163 television stations in 77 major markets. That's more television stations than anyone in the U.S. We have affiliations with all the major networks including Fox, ABC, MyTV, CBS, NBC, Univision, Azteca, and CW. On behalf of Sinclair Broadcasting Group,
handles all of the details. Need help planning your next sporting event? Sit back and relax. Event Management has got you covered. Whether a charity call, fundraiser, a preseason showcase, or a regular season game day operation, let Sit Back and Relax handle the details. Single game, tournament, and full season event planning and logistics services available. No matter how big or small, SBR has you covered. Just sit back and relax while the professionals at Sit Back and Relax take care of the rest. Visit SBRNC.com or call 919-264-8418 to get started.
Welcome back inside Hope Mills Community Center. PD Doors Craig Green here, bringing you the East Coast Basketball League game of the week. The Winston Salem Wolves, who stand at 5-1, and the Fayetteville Panthers, who stand in third place of the Northeast Division of the Northern Conference with a 2-3 record. Craig, Winston-Salem Wolves show up just 3 minutes ago.
And let's see if they're ready to play. I mean, they came out of the locker room pretty late. You know, part of that could be strategy by head coach Antonio Robinson. You know, we'd like to think he knows what he's doing. He is the reigning coach of the year. So, you know, again, you know, he took Fayetteville from a really dark place, brought them up near the division title last year. And, you know, again, a great start to this season, 5-1. So, you know, again, getting out here on the floor late, getting warmed up a little later than normal. Was that strategy? Was it traffic? We'll find out.
All right, we're going to go ahead and go with the national anthem. All right, we got your East Coast Basketball League Game of the Week right here at Hope Mills Community Center. We also have a few games on tap around East Coast Basketball League on this Sunday. Kingdom Life Bible Club is on the road to Hampton Roads to play the Seven City Vets. Both of those teams, Craig, looking for their first win of the season. And then at 5 o'clock, we'll have the Charlotte Tribe and the Garden City Magic. That game will tip off at 5 o'clock from Glen Hills High School in Augusta, Georgia. And right here, we'll have your East Coast Basketball League Game of the Week, as Winston-Salem Wolves are being introduced with only 7 players. Will that be a factor tonight as they match up with the home team, the Fayetteville Panthers?
It very well could be. We'll see what happens because, again, you know, when you have a short bench, what can really deter you is foul trouble, fatigue, and injuries. So those are things that they'll have to avoid. Can they do it here against Fayetteville with, you know, numbers to their advantage?
Kingdom Life Basketball Club trails the Vets in the third quarter, 74-62. Thanks for the update, Chris Thomas. So the Panthers will be in their home whites. Panthers across their chest. Numeral numbers in it, gold trimmed in black. Winston-Salem Wolves, their blue jerseys, white numbers, Wolves from shoulder blade to shoulder blade on the back. And we're about to get this game started.
Pretty sharp uniforms for the Fayetteville Panthers, and I'll tell you what, the colors kind of give me some Purdue Boilermakers vibes. But looking across at the Winston-Salem Wolves, their uniforms give me some old school North Carolina Tar Heel vibes.
Both of those teams still dancing away. So the green at midcourt. Jalen Green, the guard, will be jumping for the Panthers.
And Niquan Cousins, Mike Chambers, Josh Singleton, Chuck Gamble, and Jaleel Raleigh starting for the Winston-Salem Wolves. And for the Fayetteville Panthers, Jalen Green, LeBron Woodbury, Chris George, Exvetrius Rakin, and Brian Calloway.
First.
So again, we'll see if the Wolves getting out on the floor, I mean, literally seconds before the game starts, was, you know, again, strategy or just getting to the building a little late. Some final preparations, of course, by Coach Robinson in the back, and, you know, the Fayetteville Panthers led by head coach China Bethea. She's looking to get her team back onto their winning ways here. Pull even at 3-3, get a big division win. Just got some clarifications at the scores table before we get started, but in the circle right now, awaiting the jump ball, Jalen Green and Niquan Cousins. East Coast Basketball Game of the Week broadcast all over the world right now on East Coast Basketball League channel, highlevelmedianc.com, and is also the World Sports Broadcasting Network. So thank every one of you for tuning in this afternoon. As we've got this Northeast Division showdown coming up right here.
From the 2-6.
Can the Wolves try to stay atop or near the top of the Northern Conference and try to keep pace with the DC Heat, who, again, you mentioned, PD, are undefeated, 5-0, unshaken and unstirred, 664 points on the season so far.
Leading away for the Fayetteville Panthers is Woodbury with 23.5 points per game, followed by Callaway with 19 and Tripp with 16. For the Wolves, Chambers leads away with 26.8, followed by Hughes with 18.6, and Cousins with 17.8. A lot of clarifications going on here. I'm not sure if the officials know which way the players are supposed to be lined up, but we're underway from Hope Mills Community Center in Hope Mills, North Carolina. Winston-Salem Wolves will get the first stab at offense.
Big challenge again today for the Panthers. Winston-Salem Wolves are the highest scoring team in the East Coast Basketball League. 771 points on the season, 3 straight wins.
Singleton goes to the corner over to Raleigh and back out top 3. It's too hard, and Winston-Salem Wolves turning. Not sure if nobody knew what was going on. He's waiting for a whistle, and we got a whistle from midcourt. A lot of sloppy basketball here starting. Not sure what the
Panthers are just standing around wondering, what was going on. But meanwhile, Naquan Cousins was quite aware of the situation, took the ball, scored, and got fouled.
Got a 3-point lead for the Wolves. Can the Fayetteville Panthers get the offense started here with their second possession? 1 turnover so far. Want to take it 17-footer off the front of the iron, slipping and falling, but coming right in the hands of Singleton. Singleton go to Gamble. Gamble back out top of the key. Panthers coming in a loose defense on the Wolves. 3-0. Wolves. Gamble inside. Nice pass with an up and under for Singleton. Singleton with 5 points. All 5 points for the Wolves.
Singleton pretty aware, too, of the situation. There was 3 on the shot clock. He got it up quickly and was able to score.
The Panthers get on the board with Rockin.
Second chance points for the Fayetteville Panthers to be really important, as that 3 ball was missed by Jaleel Raleigh.
Comes Callaway bringing it up. Big power forward, taking a 3. No one crashing, he gets his own rebound.
Look at the hustle.
Another 3 was off the mark, and here come the Wolves. We have a whistle. Not sure what the call was. They just inadvertent whistle. Singleton continues to add with 8 points tonight. First 3 for Winston-Salem Wolves. They call a timeout, leading 8-2. We're going to take it right with him. You're watching East Coast Basketball League Game of the Week.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mama.
Welcome back to Hope Mills Community Center for East Coast Basketball League Game of the Week, presented by High Level Media. Petey Norris, Craig Green here, best seat in Hope Mill, with Cousins with 3 and Singleton with 5 for the Wolves. Second chance points for the Panthers. Singleton with the rebound.
Yeah, they're getting the second chances, just didn't take advantage of it that time around. Long rebounds kicking out to the Panthers, and now it's travel by Chambers.
It's a 3rd turnover for Winston-Salem early in this first quarter. 9:26 left, 8-2. Panthers working the right side of the down. Nice cut. Unable to hold on to the ball, and it's back out to Racken. Racken inside. Nice pass. Kiss off the window. Can't fall for Woodbury.
Didn't catch it in an advantageous position to put it back up. He was out of rhythm and out of sync when he caught the ball.
Raleigh steps on the baseline. Another turnover for the Wolves. Wolves with 4 turnovers. 8:51 left, first quarter.
4 turnovers, still up by 6. Right now, the Panthers unable to take advantage. See if they can slow down and find a good rhythm for themselves.
George tries to go out to Callaway. Callaway entry pass was stolen.
Ill-advised, too many people there.
Josh Singleton driving and kicking it. Cousins for the long 3, and Cousins with 6 points.
Yeah, Raleigh was sizing up in triple threat position to take the shot, but instead gave it up to Cousins, and Cousins knocks down to 3 and doubles his scoring column. He's up to 6.
Woodbury's pass was inside. Able to hold on to it, spin around jump shot off the mark. Rebound Chambers.
Either there's some condensation near the free throw line on the Panthers side of the floor, or it's just slippery there, because I just saw
Raleigh.
Yeah, I saw George there slip, just trying to backpedal, going back cold on defense.
Big rebound for Green on a missed 3. Green coast to coast, kiss off the window. Couldn't connect. Here come Chambers in the offense. Slows it back down as he has no numbers. Leans in. And it could not connect. Back out to Singleton. Singleton drives, drops it off, kiss off the window. Sloppy basketball, Craig, opening 3.5 minutes.
Kind of wondering what the flow is, like what the defensive set for the Panthers is, kind of wondering what their discipline is. They seemed out of sync there defensively, where the Wolves could get pretty much whatever they want. They just weren't able to execute on their end of the floor as well.
Callaway was stripped as he went up. Cousins, kiss
Nice
off the
block.
window, and offensive board for Mike Chambers, couldn't connect.
Great chase down block by Rakin.
Callaway was fouled as he went up. That was Woodbury. The official at the scores table blew the whistle and then asked the official underneath, who was the call on?
Just wanted to make sure he got it right.
Woodbury. It's a first free throw today for the Panthers.
Fayetteville was stuck on 2 for quite a while.
Making both free throws. Making one of the free throws. 11-3. 8-point lead for Winston Salem. No one moving on offense. No one moving without the ball.
It's kind of a one-on-one game right now. Just who can penetrate. If you can't, now a foul on the perimeter. As
That was Rakim.
Fouling a 3-point shooter.
So Mike Chambers to the line to shoot 3. Final score from an earlier game, Kingdom Life Basketball Club falls on the road to the 7 City Vets 94-85, and it'll be 0-7 on the season.
Not a good start for Kingdom Life. Again, 0-7, and sitting 6 games now behind the pace of the Winston-Salem Wolves. So poor start for them to begin the season. Let's see what they can do going forward, but awful result for them.
Making all 3 free throws. Back to 11-point lead. Panthers looking to get a spark here. They need one desperately, trailing by 11. They'll unleash a three from the corner. You can count it for Woodbury.
That's exactly what they needed. They responded, answered the three by Chambers, and come back and get three of their own. Now can they lock down defensively, show some kind of purpose and some kind of drive defensively? There's a good stop there. Can the Panthers come back and take advantage? That was a carry. They didn't call it.
Woodbury driving and loses control. Back out to Callaway for three. 2 threes in a row for the Panthers. They cut the deficit to 5.
Looks like the Panthers are coming to life a little bit. Like to see the fans on the other side here maybe even get a little louder. Just sitting on their hands right now as the Wolves operate uninterrupted. There's a three in the corner by Chuck Gamble.
Gamble left wide open and able to convert on the three. Back to an 8-point lead. It's going to be a rain in threes here in the first half as both teams not working. Nothing inside as Singleton takes it coast to coast. Back to a 10-point lead.
Singleton now up to 7 points. And the Wolves double-digit lead now. That was very close to a backcourt violation.
Callaway going around the screen. Looking inside, nothing there. I'll take it baseline, goes up, kiss off the window, draws the foul. He's headed to the line. And
Gamble raises his hand and say, "It was me, I did it." I don't know why he would volunteer, though, because that's his second foul.
He'll be shooting 2 after the first media timeout. 19-9. The Wolves lead the Panthers. You're listening to East Coast Basketball League Game of the Week.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Here's 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mom my.
It's been all Wolves since the opening tip. They've jumped ahead by as many as 11. They led 14-11. With 7 minutes to go, they lead 19-9 with 6 points by the Panthers with 2 threes. One by Woodbury, the other by Callaway.
Now Callaway at the line trying to get 2 more. Bring the Panthers just a little bit closer. Get inside double digits.
Callaway, an 82% free throw shooter on the season. Through 5 games, misses the first.
Announcers jinx.
Second free throw right in the hands of Cousins. The battle of the 2-6 and the tray 4 right here in the 2-6. Turnover. Wolves. Singleton pointing right to his chest as he overthrew Raleigh.
And again, not the best basketball from Winston Salem right now. Despite holding a 10-point lead, they've looked a little sloppy.
Woodbury's three is off the mark, right in the hands of Brown. Brown sets the offense. Top of the key is Callaway. Callaway, deep three, in and out, right in the hands of Singleton.
It looked good coming off his hand.
And the next dead ball, Jeremy Smith will check in for the Panthers. 4:13 left, first quarter, 19-9. Chambers goes inside to Cousins. The Cousins kiss off the window, off the left side. It is 21-9.
And now Cousins up to 8, leads all scorers. Again, not a good start for the Panthers. Really not a good start for the Wolves either, but they're the team executing the best at this point in the game.
Singleton with a block and is back with the Wolves. Chambers from a long range, couldn't connect, right in hands of Woodbury.
Chambers had his left foot on the center circle.
Woodbury second in the team in rebounds, averaging 8.7 for the Panthers this season. So Pettaway to the line for the Panthers.
Singleton commits the foul, and that's his first. Here comes the 6'8" Malik London into the game, along with Jeremy Smith, as you mentioned before. Now, the sheer size of Malik London is going to help the Panthers underneath on the rebounding side. Can it also help him on the defensive side as well, and offensively, because he's such an imposing figure on the court.
10-point lead, Wolves, 21-11. The Wolves on a weekend road trip yesterday in Rock Hill, defeating the primetime players. And today they're trying to pick up their second consecutive road win, move on to 6-1, and expect to either jump to number 1 in the power rankings this week or be at a solid 2. Callaway back out to London. London puts it on the 4, kiss off the window, opening minute, London with 2.
Immediate impact off the bench. That's exactly what Coach China Bethea wants to see.
Biggest lead for the Wolves is 12 here in the first quarter. It's a 4-0 run for the Panthers. Stepping back, Cousins for 3, and long rebound as he didn't even have to move off the mark was George. Volleying underneath, coming out with it. Here come the Panthers with numbers. Takes it himself. And a travel.
He waited.
Wow.
Waited for Pettaway to look up so he could see him calling on him. I mean, Pettaway did kind of charge, into one of the Wolves. Yeah, looked like Fayetteville State versus Winston Salem State out here on the gridiron for a second.
21-13, 8-point lead, Winston-Salem Wolves. Raleigh looking for someone to move off the ball. Raleigh trying to go inside, kicks it to the corner. Penetrating, Cousins with the wraparound, misses. London with a big rebound. London drops it off left side, kiss off the window, and right in the hands of Raleigh. Raleigh with numbers holds it back. And going up strong is Futterbuck. And Futterbuck to the line. 21-13, leading away with all scorers. Cousins with 8. And Callaway, Woodbury leads the way for the Panthers with 4. Futterbuck misses the first free throw. 21-13, 1:48 left first quarter. Futterbuck makes the second.
Rasheed Brown coming into the game for Brian Callaway. First appearance by the 6'4" Rasheed Brown.
The Panthers will just walk it up.
Unbelievable.
No defense by Winston-Salem to even pressure him to get the ball up. It's like the longest, had to be over, It took the ball longer than 8 seconds, but no one touched it. As London down low, box, trying to get up, and London couldn't connect.
My daughter puts her shoes on faster than that. That was crazy. They got across at midcourt. Not one Wolf decided to come out and challenge that.
Cousins continues to climb with a 3.
Now Cousins up to 11 after knocking down his second 3 of the game. And again, the Wolves creating some more distance on the scoreboard.
Panthers continue to struggle as Raleigh hauls down a rebound. Raleigh third in Winston-Salem Wolves with rebounds, going coast to coast and missing the shot. But staying right with the rebound was Jeremy Smith. Off the miss from Rashid Brown.
And Funderbuck guilty of the foul, so that'll be his first.
Jenkins checks in for Singleton.
Just under a minute to go in the first quarter, and again, slow start for the Panthers. Kind of a lethargic, offensively not in sync. Little spurts here and there, but again, not consistent enough.
25. So it's 25-16. Should be 25-15. We'll get that correction at the end of the first. Winston Salem Wolves with a turnover. Here come the offense for the Panthers. Not one to give it up is Brown. Brown, shots blocked with 3.5.
The big block by Chambers out on the perimeter. 3.5 on the clock, PD. Let's see what they draw up here. You've got to have your end of quarter, end of half buzzer beater play here. This is what I'm sure Coach Bethea is going to be looking for in this situation.
25-16 on this clock as London's shot was an air ball, and that's the end of the first. We're going to come right back here with second quarter action from Hope Mill, North Carolina.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Here's 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mom my.
Welcome back to the East Coast Basketball League Game of the Week, brought to you by High Level Media. Leading the way for the Winston-Salem Wolves, Cousins with 11, followed by Singleton with 7, Chambers with 3, Gamble with 3, and Futterbuck with 1. For the Panthers, leading the way, Woodbury with 4, followed by Smith with 3, Callaway with 3, Petaway with 2, London with 2, and Racken with 2. We're going to get started here in the second quarter. The scores table was correct. It is 25-16. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on today's East Coast Basketball League Game of the Week. We have a final from the earlier game at 1 o'clock. The Seven City Vets defeat the Kingdom Life Basketball Club 94-85 and move on to 1-3 on the season. Second quarter underway from Fayetteville. Panthers with the ball. Will the Panthers get the first buckets, and it belongs to Petaway.
Just like that, good start by the Panthers to get on the board. Just 10 seconds in. And again, you mentioned Seven Cities Vets and KLBC. KLBC now the only winless team in ECBL action.
25-19, the Wolves lead the Panthers the entire first quarter by as many as 12. They led 25-13. Panthers.
It's a good fake out by Rashid Brown, but he just didn't execute. And then also great defense by Brown to poke it out from behind.
Petaway drops it off, kiss off the window, and count it for Smith. Down by 4.
And that all started by the hustle of Rashid Brown coming up from behind to poke that ball away. Then coming right back down and converting for the Wolves was Funderbuck.
Funderbuck goes coast to coast. Checking in the next dead ball will be Chris George. 3 top of the key, right rebound, right to Brown. Petaway had a great look. Falling short on the 3. 27-21, 6-point lead Winston-Salem Wolves.
You can feel the Panthers kind of growing into the game here in the second quarter. All starts with hustling, and right now Rasheed Brown out there hustling and creating chances. Turnover right there by the Panthers. Looks like it was last deflected off of Pettaway.
Official over there looks like Joey Crawford from the NBA.
See if he's got Crawford's temperament.
Rawlings goes right side to Chambers. Chambers looking inside, finds Cousins. Cousins misses the layup. Brown with the rebound. Correction, that was Green. Green goes coast to coast, up with his left hand off the right side, and it falls through with enough English.
Just enough scientific spin on that ball for it to find its way into the cup.
Not sure how that's not a travel, as Chambers the official says it was on the floor. The other official said it counts, so count the buckets 29-23. Back to a 6-point lead, make it 7. There's Chambers. Picks up his 6th point. 30-23. 7-point lead. Wolves. Dance on top of the key. Brown for 3. Chambers with the rebound. Chambers sprinting in the front court. Going inside, kicking it to the corner. 3. You can count it. And that's Raleigh's first points. And that is a 3.
And the third 3, matter of fact, make that the third 3 of the first half for Winston-Salem. It's not been a big weapon in their arsenal so far, but they're using it to their advantage now. Look at that take to the bucket and conversion by Green.
Bucket is good as Green will head to the line to shoot 1. So Woodbury checks in as Brown will have a seat. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on the East Coast Basketball League YouTube page, or if you're watching on High Level Media, NC.com. As 3-point play did not fall for Green. 33-25, and they add it again. Futterbuck with a 3. That's 2 straight 3s for the Wolves. 36-25 on Style Street Barber's scoreboard. Panthers driving it with a whistle. And with the foul will be on Chambers.
Chambers has 2 fouls now. Just getting clarification on the last couple of fouls. Didn't see clear signals from the referee, so for clarification, the last Fayetteville Panthers foul was on Rasheed Brown, and the last 2 fouls on the Wolves were on Mike Chambers.
So Callaway checked in for Pettaway. Callaway gets in, gets the ball, shoots a 3. Right down in the hands of Mike Chambers. Chambers looking to drive and pulls it back out with 11-point lead. And the foul belongs to Green.
A little too much body out on the perimeter trying to guard. So here comes substitution. Here comes Exvetrius Rakin in for Jalen Green.
Rakin checks in after a quick break on the bench. 3 is off the mark, volleying down low, and London coming down with a rebound.
Love to see if they can feed London down low and make him work against C.K. Jenkins.
Woodbury shuffles a pass, and Callaway goes up. Get a signal from the official. Bucket does count.
That's 3 on Thunderbuck, and Coach Robinson going to pull him to conserve his final 3 fouls for the second half.
36-27. Converts on the three-point play.
But now Callaway up to 6, and the Panthers still trying to hang around right now. Getting a couple stops here if they want to stay in the ball game.
Raleigh seeing a straight avenue straight to the cup. It goes up. Back to a 10-point lead. Fayetteville Panthers looking for an offensive spark here in the second quarter. They trail by 10. Chambers behind the back, falls on the ball, still dribbling.
Wow. Beautiful handle by Chambers.
Chambers shaking and baking, driving.
Wow.
Draws the foul. We got an offensive foul. Chambers leans in on the defender.
Tough break for Chambers too, Petey, because we saw him lose his balance, keep the dribble, get up, beat his defender to the bucket, but then he shoved off and got called for the player-controlled foul. He almost had, right there, almost had the East Coast Basketball League play of the week, and then instead gets called with a charge. He's up to 3 fouls now, so Chambers will have to be careful.
Chambers with 3, Futterbuck with 3. With only 7 people as Callaway continues to climb in the scoring column with 8 points.
The last 2 buckets by the Panthers belong to Brian Callaway.
Nice take to the hole and drops it off to Singleton. Singleton will go to the line for an and 1.
And we see it all the time. One guy scores, goes down the court, commits a foul. That's what happened here to Brian Callaway.
Singleton couldn't convert on a 3-point play. Right in hands of Woodbury. Woodbury switches hands up and under, and it's good. Back to an 8-point lead.
And Woodbury now up to 6 as the Panthers try to chop away and get inside of 2 possessions.
Raleigh is fouled as he went up. He'll shoot 2. Speaking with Coach China Bethea before the game, I said just 10 days ago you guys dropped here at home, dropped on the road by 14. Now you're back here. And she said, we got one of our best defenders back today. Right now they've trailed by as many as 12 in the first half. They trail by 8. Right now, 40-32.
Got to turn up that defensive intensity if they want to get back in this ball game and chip away at the deficit, because right now, again, it's been a steady 8 or better lead for the Winston-Salem Wolves. And, you know, again, 7 minutes ago until halftime, they've had the momentum the entire time, and they haven't played their best basketball either.
Raleigh makes 1 out of Stetson University, hometown from Durham. He's a 64% free throw shooter on the season.
And also just committed that foul against Callaway. Jalil Raleigh hit him with a little Bull City body on that one, and now Callaway at the line for 2. Panthers playing small ball now, PD. They just have largest player on the floor for them. Appears to be 6'4" Jeremy Smith.
Callaway, a 82% free throw shooter for the Panthers. Missing 1 of 2 in the last 2 trips. Callaway drops it off. Nice pass.
Whoa.
And bringing up the crowd and going up strong was Woodbury.
Beautiful take. Great way to keep your body control. Count the bucket and the bruises. Jalil Raleigh, foul number 2.
It was the vision of Callaway that saw Woodbury trailing. 6-point lead. Can make it 5 and missing the free throw, and hauling down a rebound was Jenkins.
Four missed free throws by the Panthers.
Got an 8-second count.
Unbelievable.
Can the Panthers get a spark?
That's a heck of a spark right there.
Yeah. 41-35, Wolves lead. Coming up the screen was George. Inside to George. George drops his elbow, and we got an offensive foul. Player control foul.
Extended that elbow. Chris George, that's 2 fouls on him. And the reason why the foul was called, PD, I mean, nothing wrong with dipping the shoulder in, but he took that elbow, that little chicken wing out there, and extended it. A little panther paw on the Wolf.
Singleton in trouble and turns it over right off the hands of Futterbuck. Correction, that was Gamble. We got a full timeout. 41-35. The Wolves lead the Panthers.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
At Cardinal Family Dentistry, we are honored to serve the community of Apex by providing honest, compassionate dental care. We focus on preventative care and education to make sure all of our patients enjoy optimal dental health, and we offer judgment-free treatment if you're in need of a corrective procedure. Dr. Barker and the rest of the Cardinal Family Dentistry team want to be a resource for you when it comes to your dental health. So we always keep you well informed and offer honest guidance to help you make the best decisions for you and your family. Give them a call today at 919-589-5001.
Welcome back inside Hope Mills Community Center in Hope Mill, North Carolina. You have your East Coast Basketball League game of the week, the Fayetteville Panthers, and the visiting Winston-Salem Wolves, who lead 41-35 with Callaway dropping it off top of the key to Smith. Smith over to Woodbury. Callaway for 3, follows a shot, and right in the hands of Mike Chambers. Chambers turns it over, looking for Raleigh up the court.
Almost threw the ball back to Raleigh, if you know what I'm saying, because that ball was way out in front, and Jalil had no chance at it.
Looked like it's headed up 95 north back to Raleigh. Woodbury looking inside, and Cousins with the steal. Back out to George. Nice take for Smith. Off the baseline.
Little scoop to the bucket. Floater. Very nicely done.
4-point lead for the Wolves. Cousins advances the scoreboard to 43-37.
13 for Cousins and a good take as well against a couple defenders.
Callaway around the side. Smith screen, hits 3, and it's Petaway. Correction is off of Woodbury as he.
And Woodbury, you know, give him credit for hustling, just couldn't keep his feet in bounds. And what kind of pass was that?
43-37, Singleton frustrated on the inbound pass from Mike Chambers.
That felt like a frustrating situation there on that one. Like just complete discombobulation.
Panthers will inbound it.
Rakim says, my bad, like he threw a bad pass. Saw him tap his chest. Now come to set a hard screen.
Callaway around the screen, trying to take Singleton to the hole, and Singleton blocks. Had him on the block.
Well, you got a clean block on it, but perhaps maybe too much contact from the body. Yeah, that's exactly what our referee said.
Officials explaining it to Coach Antonio. The Winston-Salem Wolves. Callaway makes the first. 43-38. Misses a second, in and out.
It's 4 missed free throws by Callaway.
82% free throw shooter on the season is Chambers. Traveled. Or an offensive foul on Chambers.
Stuck out the arm. Chambers out there gambling. He's got 4. And explaining it again to Antonio Robinson that he stuck that arm out. He's out there with 4 fouls.
43-38, checking in the next net ball will be Pettaway, and 3 by Callaway.
Callaway really growing into this game. He's now up to 13 as well, tied for the overall game lead with Cousins.
2-point lead, Wolves. Singleton, Josh Singleton, straight to the hole, looking to draw the foul, but threw it up, and Callaway with the chance to tie it. Alley-oop and a two-handed slam for Josh Smith, and we got a tie game.
Look at the fight by the Wolves back into this contest. All it takes is a little alley-oop like that, jumping up and flushing it down.
Nice look by Woodbury. Singleton's 3 is off the mark, fighting and coming out with a rebound. Long rebound, Woodbury. First lead opportunity, Euro steps, kiss off the window, and you can count it. Fayetteville with their first lead.
It looks like the slow, inconsistencies of the Wolves are catching up to them now, as the Panthers have also caught up to them.
Chambers' 3 is off the mark. They've erased a 11-point deficit here in the second half.
The Wolves are as cold as the blue on their uniforms right now.
Woodbury loses it. Goes inside, and George was fouled. So head to the free throw line.
Cousins with his first foul. And now a chance for a chance for Fayetteville, mind you, to increase a lead. First time they've led all game, PD. And it's just, again, a much better second quarter for Fayetteville. Right now they sit at 29 points and counting with just under 3 minutes to go. First free throw is good for George. So again, now a 30-point second quarter for Fayetteville compared to 18 points for the Wolves.
George getting his first 2 points for the line. They lead by 4.
And still high pressure by Fayetteville.
Good defense by Fayetteville. Once they regain this lead, they come out in a full press.
They've grown into the game, no doubt.
Gamble driving. Fayetteville looking for a call, but misses the layup right in the hands of Woodbury. Woodbury spins, puts up the shot, gets his own rebound, blocked. Right back in the hands of the Wolves. Ahead, and Cousins gets the and one.
Great pass, great look, good finish. Count the bucket, score the foul against Smith. Jeremy Smith, that is. Brown coming back into the game. Had a good run last time. He's going to replace LeBron Woodbury. I mean, Brown not on the scorer's book yet, but again, hustling, chasing down loose balls, and having an impact on defense.
47-46, 2:22 left. We're going to take a timeout with him. You're listening to East Coast Basketball League Game of the Week, presented by High Level Media on the East Coast Basketball League YouTube page.
1 in 3 adults in America have pre-diabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mama.
Fayetteville Panthers outscored the Winston-Salem Wolves 31-21 in the second quarter. They lead by 1 with just 2:22 left. Petey Doors, Craig Green here from Hope Mills Community Center in Hope Mill, North Carolina.
Impressive second quarter by the Fayetteville Panthers. Again, fought their way all the way back from trailing in double digits in the first quarter.
Petaway drive and throws it up. Stays right with it, and Petaway to the floor. Here comes the blue of Winston-Salem Wolves, Chambers. Is in trouble, puts up the 3 right in the hands of Gamble. Gamble goes up, misses the layup. Singleton volleys it out, and it stays right with the Wolves.
$18 on the shot clock for Winston-Salem as well.
Singleton goes inside to Gamble. Gamble guarded tightly by Brian Calloway, puts an elbow in his chest and goes up off the right side, and the Wolves regain the lead.
Chuck Gamble using his size, had the spot on the floor he wanted to, got in that low block and was able to convert. Now a long 3, no good. Out of bounds, it will belong to Winston-Salem.
48-47, 1:28 left.
Mike Chambers out there with 4 fouls.
He's inside to Gamble. Calloway, great defense. Coming out with a steal. Brown takes it coast to coast, and Raleigh threatened with the defense. Raleigh also in foul trouble for the Wolves.
What a fantastic defensive play by Raleigh. I mean, he came down court. I mean, it was 4-on-2 for the Panthers, and he slipped inside and was able to swat that shot away.
Calloway backing Cousins down and misses the shot. And fighting with the rebound was Petaway, and going up. Back the other way for the Panthers with a 1-point lead, 49-48.
Good things happen when you crash the boards, and then Petaway, commits the foul right after scoring a bucket. They were trying hard to get another 8-second call, and look, there's 17 seconds on the shot clock. They nearly got it, but committed a foul before they can get the turnover forced. Now Panthers are over the limit, and we've got Chambers again playing with 4 fouls at the line.
Makes the first free throw. Chambers leading away for the Wolves this season, averaging 28.5 points per game.
He's got 8 right now, and the fact that he's got 4 fouls is an interesting development, but it goes to speak to the confidence of Antonio Robinson to keep him in the game. He's gambling right now.
Makes both of those free throws with the 67% free throw shooter. That was Cousins picking up the foul.
As a matter of fact, Chambers is perfect from the line tonight. He's knocked down 6 free throws already in the first half. Only made 1 bucket.
50-49, and makes it 50. 50 apiece. Calloway. Back to a 1-point lead, Panthers way, 51-50.
Good
missing
block.
a bunny.
Jeremy Smith chased it down.
Petaway driving. In trouble, puts up the shot anyway.
Petaway had an open 3, he just couldn't catch the basketball cleanly.
And Raleigh with a runner. 52-51, 17 seconds left.
No shot clock for the Fayetteville Panthers. They can take the final shot here if they so desire. Looks like that's what they'll do with Callaway.
Callaway steps back, loses it, gets his own. Shot was blocked. Callaway was able to get the shot off. 52-51, the Wolves lead at halftime. You're listening and watching the East Coast Basketball League Game of the Week. We're going to come right back here with stats, facts, and figures and unofficial box scores for the first half.
In America have pre-diabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Here's 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mama. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
At Cardinal Family Dentistry, we are honored to serve the community of Apex by providing honest, compassionate dental care. We focus on preventative care and education to make sure all of our patients enjoy optimal dental health, and we offer judgment-free treatment if you're in need of a corrective procedure. Dr. Barker and the rest of the Cardinal Family Dentistry team want to be a resource for you when it comes to your dental health, so we always keep you well-informed and offer honest guidance to help you make the best decisions for you and your family. Give them a call today at 919-589-5001. That's 919-589-5001. Or visit them online at cardinalfamilydentistry.com.
Hey, hon, what you doing with your phone? Taking pictures?
No, I'm asking it questions.
Like what?
Hey, Bobo, do flowers have best friends?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. Look, flowers do have best friends.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Need help planning your next sporting event? Sit back and relax. Event Management has got you covered. Whether a charity call, fundraiser, a preseason showcase, or a regular season game day operation, let Sit Back and Relax handle the details. Single game, tournament, and full season event planning and logistics services available. No matter how big or small, SBR has you covered. Just sit back and relax while the professionals at Sit Back and Relax take care of the rest. Visit SBRNC.com or call 919-264-8418 to get started.
Sinclair Broadcast Group Incorporated was founded in 1986 and is one of the largest and most diversified television broadcasting companies in the country. Sinclair owns and operates, programs, and provides sales services to 163 television stations in 77 major markets. That's more television stations than anyone in the U.S. We have affiliations with all the major networks including Fox, ABC, MyTV, CBS, NBC, Univision, Azteca, and CW.
One in 3 adults in America have pre-diabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Here's 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mama. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
Welcome back to Hope Mills Community Center. PD Doors Craig Green here. Halftime, 52-51. The Winston-Salem Wolves lead the Fayetteville Panthers in your East Coast Basketball League Game of the Week. Unofficial box scores for the visiting Winston-Salem Wolves in the first half, led by Cousins with 16, followed by Singleton with 9, Chambers with 8, Raleigh with 8, Futterbuck with 3, Gamble with 5. For the 2-3 Fayetteville Panthers with 35 points in the second quarter, outscoring the Winston-Salem Wolves 35-27. Leading the way is Brian Calloway with 15, followed by Jeremy Smith with 9. Woodbury sets at 10, Petaway with 7, George with 2, Rakeen with 2, and London with 2. But like I said, the second quarter, Craig, the Panthers found a way to outscore the Winston-Salem Wolves. But going into that second quarter, they're down 25-16. It got down as many as 11 as it was 36-25.
Again, slow start by Fayetteville in that first quarter, 16 points, looked lethargic, looked out of sync on both ends of the floor, really. And, we said it in the first 12 minutes, Winston-Salem themselves looked like they were out of sync and starting slow. And we wondered, because of the fact they got on the floor so close to tip time and didn't have a ton of warm-ups, was that strategy by Antonio Robinson, or was it, something else? I think right now, it's the latter, because, again, 25 points in the first quarter, 27 in the second, looks good on paper, but so much has been left out on the floor for Winston-Salem, and they've allowed Fayetteville to grow into this game.
52-51, Craig, what do the Panthers have to do to give the Wolves their second loss of the season here in the final 24 minutes?
Crash the boards and play good perimeter defense. Don't allow Winston-Salem's shooters to get out there and start operating like Cousins with 11 and Chambers himself. Chambers, really keep him off the free throw line. We talked about him being, a below 70% free throw shooter. He's knocked down every single attempt in this game so far, just one field goal, and he's got 8 points. So I think in the second half for Fayetteville, again, got to have to crash the boards, play solid perimeter defense, don't turn the basketball over, find your rhythm offensively, and again, let's find mismatches on the floor that you can take advantage of. I mean, look at 6'8" Malik London walking into the gym right now, going back to the bench. That's number one guy I would try to focus on if I'm Coach China Bethea. Get him the ball down on the low block, let him operate. Yeah, no one from Winston-Salem, with the exception of possibly C.K. Jenkins at 6'7", could even, stand with him, toe-to-toe, eye-to-eye.
Yeah, with Mike Chambers in foul trouble for the Wolves, that'd be one guy I would focus on in opening 6 minutes of this third quarter to get him to foul out quick. I mean, he's with 8 points and 4 fouls. He is the only Winston-Salem Wolves player who is threatening with fouling out here in the second half with 4 fouls.
If you foul out the leading scorer for the Winston-Salem Wolves, that right there is a key opportunity for Fayetteville. Again, Mike Chambers leads the Wolves with nearly 27 points a game, 26 points a game, and 5.6 rebounds a game, PD. And again, 2 steals a game as well. You get him out of this game, and I don't want to say the goose is cooked for Antonio Robinson and his side, but, the odds would not be in their favor whatsoever.
52-51, under 2 minutes to go until the second half gets started. We're going to come right back here with second half coverage of the East Coast Basketball League Game of the Week, presented by High Level Media, NC.
1 in 3 adults in America have pre-diabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Here's 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mom my.
60 seconds until the second half. Getting there to get started. PD Doors, Craig Green here. March Madness weekend here in Fayetteville. We have a 1-point game against the Fayetteville Panthers, who are 2-3 on the season, and 5-1. Winston-Salem Wolves, who picked up the big road win yesterday against the primetime players, 122-115. Winston-Salem Wolves yesterday in the first quarter put up 37 points. In the second quarter, it was all primetime players. They put up 44. Winston-Salem Wolves won the final 2 quarters, outscored the primetime players in the third quarter 25-21, and in the fourth quarter 34-22. And that's was a difference in the game for Coach Chris Thomas with his veteran player Chris Moore.
And again, a showdown of 2 of the, higher profile scorers in the league. And it didn't disappoint either, Petey. 35 points for Chris Moore, 38 for Chambers, and also 31 from Mike Hughes. That's what paced Winston-Salem Wolves, getting that, should we call it an upset victory? I don't know. Because, again, Winston-Salem sits at 5-1. But PTP, they've been very, very consistent. Again, a semifinal. A matter of fact, a semifinalist last year for the in the playoffs. Great game between 2 top contending teams. But it's hard for me not to call it an upset when Winston-Salem pulls off what they did against primetime players who've looked really good to start the season.
Mike Hughes not here today for the Winston-Salem Wolves, who are 5-1 on the season off the big game yesterday. Gary gets started as Cousins over there talking to the officials. Get some clarification on some calls that he has against him. Cousins with 2 fouls in the first.
Also scores 16 points, and he leads all scorers with 16. Again, you mentioned Brian Calloway for the Fayetteville Panthers, leading them with 15. And also, again, one more thing you didn't mention as well, Mike Chambers in foul trouble. If you are the Fayetteville Panthers, you absolutely need to attack whoever number 2 is guarding. But also, here's another strategy as well. Will the Wolves go away from a man defense and try to zone to keep Chambers on the floor and keep him away from drawing fouls number 5 and 6?
Panthers will get the ball. They'll start with Callaway, Woodbury, along with George, Rakeem, along with Jalen Green in the second half. First time I've seen the Panthers run a play all night. Go inside to George. George take a Singleton to the hole. Baby hook is off the mark. Singleton with the rebound. Push it ahead. Kicking at Raleigh.
Good
Raleigh
defense.
on the right wing.
Good job by the Panthers to get back defensively and cut off the perimeter shooting.
Driving, stops, kiss off the window, and you can count it for Gamble.
Gamble now at 7 points. The Wolves break the ice in the second half, get the first points on the board.
That's exactly what they did in the first quarter. Can the Panthers win this quarter also? And starting off, it's Chris George.
And a good release and rise, rotation, and splash. Nicely done by Chris George.
Cousins looking to drive, drives, kiss off the window too hard. George with the rebound. George sprinting in the front court without numbers. Stops for 15 out, pulls it back out, goes inside. Nice backdoor cut to Rakeem, and Rakeem connects.
And almost, blew that opportunity because he didn't catch the basketball cleanly. Seen that a lot recently in some of the games we've covered. Folks having a hard time catching the ball. Here comes Fayetteville with the steal. 1-on-1, 2-on-1. Look at that Euro step, but no good. And
George with the rebound and Singleton with the block. Singleton shaking and baking on Rakeem. Rakeem with the steal. Rakeem gets pushed from Singleton. Singleton frustrated.
Number 3 commits foul number 3. An easy call with a push, just like you said, frustration foul from losing the basketball.
So Green holds it out. Goes to Callaway. Callaway with 3 too hard, right in the hands of Cousins. Cousins hands it off to Raleigh with 10 minutes left in the third quarter. Raleigh pulls it back out. Driving on Woodbury. Opposite side, mid-range, rises and fires and connects.
And beautiful rise, fire, release, and rotation for Raleigh, who brings himself to double digits. He's at 10, and the Winston-Salem Wolves have a 1-point lead.
Woodbury driving, hugs his defender and got an offensive foul, player control, as Chambers was able to escape the foul.
And they tried to attack Chambers, but Chambers did a nice job of getting big and bodying up on Woodbury and drawing that foul.
Raleigh looking to drive on Woodbury, gets the position and goes up. And the Wolves extend the lead to 3.
11 on 11 there, and that time 11 in blue gets the Duke.
Green looking for someone to go back door. Green wasn't there. Callaway floating on the baseline. Rises and tries to go with the alley-oop to Rakeem.
Yeah, I thought that was an outlet pass to Rakeem myself there. Almost, I think it was a little too much arc on it. It looked like a really flat shot.
So it's off of the Wolves, out of bounds. Panthers with the ball. Green out to Callaway. Callaway going around the screen, drops, almost wanted to drop it off to Rakeem. Callaway spins, kiss off the window, no! Singleton with the rebound, but Callaway charged with the foul.
Didn't have position, trying to crash the offensive boards. And instead just put the body on Chambers, knocked him to the floor. So second team foul now on Fayetteville.
Singleton with 4 inches over Callaway. Singleton 6'4", Callaway 6 foot. Raleigh sprints in the front court. Taking it straight up. Kiss off the window, looking to draw the foul. Was a foul. Coach China Bethea calls a timeout, 60-55. The Panthers trail the Wolves.
1 in 3 adults in America have pre-diabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Here's 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mom my.
Sinclair Broadcast Group Incorporated was founded in 1986 and is one of the largest and most diversified television broadcasting companies in the country. Sinclair owns and operates, programs, and provides sales services to 163 television stations in 77 major markets. That's more television stations than anyone in the U.S. We have affiliations with all the major networks, including Fox, ABC, MyTV, CBS,
Welcome back inside Hope Mills Community Center. Panthers with the ball, trailing by 5. 8-4 run by the Wolves. Can the Panthers get started on offense? No. As Woodbury coming up short. Raleigh looking to extend the 8-4 run. Puts up a 3. Fronted iron. Cousins with the rebound. All alone, kiss off the window, and you can count it.
That 3-ball attempt, very, very flat, but Cousins in the right spot, gets a second chance opportunity and cashes it in.
Nice backdoor to Rakeen. Rakeen is fouled. And Raleigh with the foul.
3 on Raleigh, this one in the act of shooting, so now we'll see Xvetrius Rakeen, the X-Man, going to the line trying to get points 5 and 6.
Makes the first. (62-56). Making both free throws. Rakeen.
See how Fayetteville sets up defensively. They're going man-to-man right now. All 5 players for Winston-Salem out on the perimeter. Very interesting. No one inside the paint. Almost like they're drawing up a one-on-one play.
Singleton with shot clock violation.
Unforced error by the Winston-Salem Wolves. Plenty of opportunities to shoot the basketball. No one decided to pull the trigger.
.16 on the shot clock for the Panthers. Callaway to Woodbury. Woodbury, Euro step, gets away with the travel, gets his own rebound. Going up, Rakeen with the yell. Rakeen with 4 straight points.
Yeah, he's feeling it right now, trying to keep Winston-Salem from extending their lead even further, chipping away at the deficit. Again, they had a 1-point lead going into the 1-point deficit going into the half. Trying to hang around and pull the upset today.
Chambers. Chambers dropping his shoulder every time he penetrates.
Green would like an explanation. And third foul on Green.
Coach China Bethea wants to know, the officials obviously know he's probably got 4 fouls. He's dropping his shoulder every time he drives, Chambers.
And he's been called for it once already.
Cousins driving, kicks it, Singleton from the corner. Doesn't fall, right in the hands of Woodbury. Woodbury controlling the offense ahead. George unleashes a 3, right in the hands of Cousins. Cousins pushing ahead of Chambers. Chambers drops it off to Gamble. Gamble for 3, no. Singleton right there to put it back up.
Good look on that pass by Chambers. And unfortunately, that shot was flat, but here comes Cousins to clean it up.
Panthers with another turnover. Singleton. Again, you could slam it all day for Cousins. 66-59.
Such a hard power dunk, and you can feel the momentum going back to the team in the Carolina Blue right now.
66-59, Winston-Salem Wolves lead the Fayetteville Panthers. Coach for the Panthers is very frustrated with the officials today. 5:47 left. They trail by 7. But like you said, Craig, at halftime it's 52-51. Winston-Salem Wolves come out and splash with the offense in an opening seconds. They went on an 8-4 run. Now they lead 66-59. And all the as we look at midcourt, as Woodbury is going out asking the official about a couple calls, as he's frustrated with Mike Chambers driving in on him, and Chambers dropping the elbow every time. You're not going to get the call.
I think they're feeling like the referees' decisions are a little inconsistent. But, sometimes they're letting them play. Sometimes they're calling it tight. But I think that's the frustrating part if you're a player on the floor, because, you find yourself walking on eggshells. You can't really feel like you can really, settle into the game and do what you do, when you're always constantly trying to figure out what is a foul, what is not a foul.
Panthers with the ball zone.
Here they go, walking it up one more time.
They'll pick it up right at midcourt. 66-59, third quarter of action, 5:36 left. Driving, and Callaway couldn't connect. Got a media timeout. We'll shoot the free throws on the other side of the media timeout, 66-59.
3 adults in America have pre-diabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Here's 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mom. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
Cousins picking up the foul. Singleton picking up the foul. It's 66-60.
And that's, foul trouble for the Wolves. That's 4 on Singleton, 4 on Chambers as well. Jaleel Raleigh, Chris Funderbuck each have 3 apiece. And on the other side for Fayetteville, just Jalen Green with 3 fouls.
Callaway going 50% on that trip. Gotta travel.
Our deputy made the call against the wall over there. He's into it.
It's bad when the deputy's making calls. 6-point lead. Can the Panthers chop away at the deficit? Woodbury. Over to Callaway. Callaway stands. Looking to go around. Goes baseline up and under. And picking up the foul. They never called a foul. And the foul. Foul's on Cousins. That's his third. Cousins third. Singleton with 4, along with Chambers with 4. Callaway.
And again, a short bench for Winston Salem. Going to have to attack these guys in foul trouble. It seems like that could be the strategy for Coach Bethea, as Callaway knocks down both free throws. He's up to 18 points to lead the Fayetteville Panthers, bring them back within 4.
66-62, and Cousins looking for a call, couldn't get it on the made bucket. Back to a 6-point lead.
And now Cousins with 22 points. What a scoop and bucket converted by Woodbury. Woodbury taking contact, kind of flinging it up there, and it found its way, nestled into the bottom of the net.
Raleigh shaking and baking over on Smith. Raleigh hands it off to Gamble. Driving on Callaway, stops on the elbow, and going back up as the ball goes right in the hands of Cousins. It's back 70-64.
And now another offensive foul call, player-controlled foul, and the smile on the face of Mike Chambers tells it all. Feels like he got away with one there. And the frustration on the face of LeBron Woodbury also tells a tale.
4:07 left, 70-64.
Fayetteville Panthers kind of cold here in the third quarter.
Cousins for three. Barely hits the rim as it falls through.
He's getting hot right now. Fayetteville is not. Spoke too soon.
Callaway gets the easy layup.
Turnover right there as the ball was inadvertently passed to Coach Bethea. Very upset with her Panthers not paying attention to where the ball was going, and a three-pointer goes in for the X-Man.
73-69. 4-point lead for Winston-Salem Wolves. Riley looking, picks up his dribble. Jenkins inside to Gamble. Gamble trying to back Callaway down from way out. 6 on the shot clock, going up. Misses, and Cousins screens with the tip in.
Cousins has been very active. He's got 13 points here in the second and the third quarter alone.
Cousins grabs the rebound off the missed three.
Oh, the confidence with the behind-the-back pass.
Rowley. Back out to Chambers. Chambers looking to get separation. Chambers splits the defenders, goes up with his left hand. You could count it. Back to an 8-point lead.
The Wolves are surging right now, and the Panthers have got to find a couple of buckets to keep them honest.
Brown dribbles off his shoe. Raleigh. Alley-oop and two-handed slam for Cousins.
Gracious. Look at the feed from Raleigh to Cousins. Again, 15 points in the third quarter. Cousins says, "Thank you very much." The Panthers are in trouble.
79-69 is nice alley-oop by Raleigh to Cousins.
Looking like Rucker Park in here, throwing it up, slamming it down, flying through the sky. Who knew wolves could fly? Never seen a wolf with a wing in my life. As Callaway gets to the bucket, he's up to 22 points and brings Fayetteville a little bit closer. 2 minutes to go in this third quarter, PD. Got to see some better defense from Fayetteville, some better offense as well.
Raleigh tries to answer with a three. Cousins with the rebound, out to Chambers. Chambers threes contested right in the face of Brown, and it goes through the net.
Confidence is something that is infectious, and you can feel it now amongst the Winston-Salem Wolves players. Chambers starts going off, and now you see
Callaway trying to answer back.
Cousins going off, and now you see Chambers getting into the action too.
Petaway goes inside to Green, and Green's reverse layup is good.
Green very lucky to not have been called for another offensive foul there, because he also lowered the shoulder and kind of stuck his elbow out, trying to create space for that layup.
9-point lead. Driving, nice spin, kiss off the window.
Ooh, late foul call.
For Futterbuck. As he hits the floor, he'll shoot two. But C.K. Jenkins was right there with the rebound. Futterbuck to the line to shoot two for the Wolves.
And you can credit the foul to Jeremy Smith. 9 points on the game, 2 fouls.
Back to a 10-point lead. Make it 11. 84-73. Third quarter with 65 seconds left. Driving with a runner. Chambers with a rebound.
And a really good look, just unlucky because it didn't fall.
Jenkins from the corner for three, no. And coming down with the rebound was Jeremy Smith. George driving on 4 Wolves, kicks it, three, yes.
Big bucket for Petaway. He needed that one. That's his second straight three.
Back to a 6-point deficit. Futterbuck for three to answer. Jenkins with the rebound. Jenkins looking for Chambers. Stays right with it. Stabbed out of bounds. Be Wolves' ball on the baseline.
Nearly a full shot clock as well. 21 to end, on the shot clock when they inbounded.
8-point lead. Chambers shaking and baking, spinning and going up.
Love the little ball fake by Chambers there. Sold him a bill of goods and then gave him a lump of coal on the way back.
Raleigh looking for Chambers.
Chambers, Cousins tried his best to finish it as the horn went off, but PD, a really, really good third quarter for the Winston-Salem Wolves. They put up 34 points in this first 12 minutes of the second half.
Last night they put up 34 in the fourth quarter as they defeated the primetime players 122-115. They're 12 minutes away from moving on to 6-1 on the season in the East Coast Basketball League Game of the Week.
At Cardinal Family Dentistry, we are honored to serve the community of Apex by providing honest, compassionate dental care. We focus on preventative care and education to make sure all of our patients enjoy optimal dental health, and we offer judgment-free treatment if you're in need of a corrective procedure. Dr. Barker and the rest of the Cardinal Family Dentistry team want to be a resource for you when it comes to your dental health, so we always keep you well-informed and offer honest guidance to help you make the best decisions for you and your family. Give them a call today at 919-589-5001. That's 919-589-5001. Or visit them online at cardinalfamilydentistry.com.
Coach China Bethea having enter to coach the boys to a victory to upset the Winston-Salem Wolves. 12 minutes will tell. Down by 10, outscored in the third quarter, 34-25. At the end of two quarters, it was 52-51. Now going into fourth, it's a 10-point game. Wolves way with just 6 players.
Then the Wolves are surging and they're playing with a sense of urgency and energy as well. I mean, you know, again, a big win for them yesterday over the primetime players. Coming in, you know, making the trip to South Carolina, now right back up here to Fayetteville, and or right here in Hope Mills, in the shadow of Fayetteville, mind you, and executing and playing well here in the second half, mind you. Let's say it twice fast, but you know, slow start. Now they've grown into the game, and let's see if they can finish here in this final 12 minutes with a 10-point lead. Got 2 players with 4 fouls. You know, it's not the best situation to be in, but you know, that 10-point lead is something they would love to build on here and keep the Panthers at bay and send them to 2-4.
Get into the fourth quarter, the Wolves with the ball to start the Fidelity Investments Money Quarter. You're listening to High Level Media's presents you the East Coast Basketball League Game of the Week. Petey Norris, Craig Green is Chambers. High dribble, wanted to go inside on a bounce pass, but I do not believe that Chris George was correction. That was Futterbuck ready. Chambers.
3 on the shot clock.
3 on the shot clock. Puts up a 3. In and out. But who else but the man in the middle, Nakeem Cousins from Bluefield College.
Crashing the boards. He's been there all third quarter. He had a real big surge in the third as fouls called, and
Petaway
will go to the line. Credit C.K. Jenkins with his first foul of the game. But yeah, Naquan Cousins in the third quarter, PD, again, 15 points in just the third quarter on himself. At one point, he was outscoring Fayetteville until they started growing into the game.
Makes the first.
Two for Petaway.
8-point game. It's Petaway in the backcourt on defense.
See how long Chambers can afford to miss that 5th foul as he draws another foul.
On Petaway. 78 points so far for the Panthers, 2 here in the fourth quarter.
I don't know how many times we've seen it. You know, all the games you and I have called together, how many times have we seen someone score a bucket then go down and commit a foul on the other end? Seen it at least 3 times in this game alone.
If it's not been Petaway, it's been Woodbury. Frustration. So Rakeen checks in. So check in for Chris George. Wonder why Malik London hasn't played much today for the Panthers. The tallest man on the court. Hasn't seen many minutes tonight.
Perhaps maybe Coach Bethea felt like the flow of the game would better benefit small ball versus having a big man in the middle.
The Panthers come up short off of Jeremy Smith's missed layup.
Can't afford to brick layups at the point of attack right there. You got to score and take those high percentage shots and knock them down. 10 on the shot clock again, but then a steal.
Butterbucks diving and coming out with it. Callaway to Rakeen. Rakeen almost missed the layup.
He looked like he was debating on whether to dunk it or just to lay it home in mid-flight. And he did half and half and was able to still score, even though despite it looked like a little, a little Arnold Palmer action, half layup, half dunk.
Rakeen with the foul.
There we go again, PD. One guy scores and commits a foul on the other side.
Jenkins inside, back out. Cousins, long three. Fighting and coming out with it. Two Panthers, Callaway and Petaway fighting for the rebound. 10:05 left, 88-80. Inside of 10 minutes.
Good active hands by Cousins on the perimeter. 5 on the shot clock.
Callaway drives, saw the shot clock and put it on the floor, and Smith with the putback.
There's Jeremy Smith getting into double figures now. One of 5 Panthers in double figures, but still trailing by 2 possessions.
Raleigh going inside to Jenkins. Jenkins looking for a backdoor cut. Cousins. What does Cousins do? With 4 on the shot clock, drives, kiss off the window. Smith with the rebound. Smith hobbling. As Callaway dribbles up. Out to Petaway, swings it over.
Nearly threw it away. Just trying to lead Rakin towards the right wing, the left wing, but almost threw it into the second row.
Callaway puts up an ugly 3 and right in hands of Chambers. Looking to try to draw Chambers with the 5th.
And instead draws his own 4th foul. And again, very, very close to an 8-second violation, as when Chambers was crossing midcourt, he had 1 foot on the Panther side of the floor, 1 foot on the Wolves side of the floor. The referees called it good and did not flag him for the violation before the foul was called. Green has to be careful.
As Chambers straight up. It's back to an 8-point lead.
And 19 points for Mike Chambers. Out there with 4 fouls since the second quarter. Fantastic job by Chambers. Heck of a coaching decision by Antonio Robinson.
Callaway trapped off on the baseline. Out to Smith. Smith back to Rakeen. Rakeen to Petaway for 3. Too hard. Jenkins with the rebound and stabs it back to Raleigh. Raleigh driving, kicking it. 3 for Gamble, and it's good.
Coach Bethea may want to think about a timeout.
Correction, it was Futterbuck for 3.
And there's the timeout we talked about. Coach Bethea wants to talk it over. The Panthers going to go into the den and figure it out.
53-82, timeout, Fayetteville.
At Cardinal Family Dentistry, we are honored to serve the community of Apex by providing honest, compassionate dental care. We focus on preventative care and education to make sure all of our patients enjoy optimal dental health, and we offer judgment-free treatment if you're in need of a corrective procedure. Dr. Barker and the rest of the Cardinal Family Dentistry team want to be a resource for you when it comes to your dental health, so we always keep you well informed and offer honest guidance to help you make the best decisions for you and your family. Give them a call today at 919-589-5001. That's 919-589-5001. Or visit them online at cardinalfamilydentistry.com.
Sinclair Broadcast Group Incorporated was founded in 1986 and is one of the largest and most diversified television broadcasting companies in the country. Sinclair owns and operates, programs, and provides sales services to 163 television stations in 77 major markets. That's more television stations than anyone in the U.S. We have affiliations with all the major networks, including Fox, ABC, MyTV, CBS, NBC, Univision, Azteca, and CW. On behalf of Sinclair Broadcasting Group.
Welcome back to Hope Mills, North Carolina. 93-82, Fayetteville Panthers trail the Winston-Salem Wolves with the ball. The Panthers searching. Callaway coming out of timeout, couldn't get a bucket. And Raleigh with the rebound. Raleigh looking like he wanted to pass the ball, but Jeremy Smith with the block.
Hell of a chase down job by Jeremy Smith. Committed to defense, got down there and prevented the layup.
Nice pass in, and Jenkins looking for a call. He's fouled from behind. They lead it ahead. The Petaway, and it's Futterbuck with the goaltender.
They'll score the bucket for Fayetteville and for Petaway. They needed that, and it was great execution, too, by the Panthers in the fast break as well. Bounce pass was on the money.
93-84 with 7 minutes left. Driving and losing the ball is Futterbuck. Frustration is set in on Futterbuck.
Thought he was fouled.
Callaway in trouble. Woodbury for three from the corner. You can count it.
Right back to a two-possession game. Again, the Panthers doing their best to hang around.
Futterbuck loses the ball once again. Coming out.
Good defense, again, by the Panthers. And, again, frustration, you can see it on the face of Funderbuck as he will jump it up with LeBron Woodbury. Thought I saw blood in the mouth of Chris Funderbuck. And Funderbuck did take his hand and shove it near the face of Woodbury. So the referee's discussing this. We do have a jump ball initially, Petey, just like you said. But could there be some extra stuff called here? Perhaps a flagrant foul as well. So
trying to get the expression off of the officials. Can't get a read off of the officials. So right now it'll be a jump ball after the timeout that was called by Winston-Salem Wolves as they lead 93-87 with 6:47 left.
And right now, 14 sits on the shot clock. So it looks like it will just be
Panthers ball. No, correction, Wolves ball.
What was the call? Thought it was a jump ball. Maybe they're playing possession arrow. Perhaps the Purdue and Carolina colors confusing.
Gamble was stripped from Woodbury. Woodbury Euro step 3 times.
And that's the 5th foul on Mike Chambers. Took him 2.5 quarters to draw it, but he did. So that's 5 on Chambers. He's going to have to be on his absolute best behavior for the final 6 minutes and 35 seconds. But if you're Fayetteville, you find number 2 and attack him as early and often as you can. You've also got to knock down your free throws if your name is LeBron Woodbury.
Did right, drew the foul. Couldn't connect on the first free throw. Second free throw is nothing but nylon.
Now full court press, and it works out. And a beautiful steal coming in by Callaway. Caught Raleigh scrambling and draws a foul on Jaleel Raleigh. That's 4 for Raleigh.
Raleigh with 4. Chambers with 4. No, 5 for Chambers.
Singleton also with 4. And for the Fayetteville Panthers, you got Jalen Green with 4 as well.
Making both free throws, down by 3, set up in a full court press. Smith in the backcourt with Raleigh. Raleigh gets in the front court before the 8-second count and turns it over.
Still not hearing the defense chants I was promised from behind the Panthers bench on the commercial break at the end of the half. But again, the Panthers have turned it up and have responded, and now they're down by 1.
That was a nice take by Chris George.
And then a foul from behind by Woodbury. Correction, 12, not 11. So that foul goes against Chris George. It's foul number 3 on Chris George.
93-92.
That foul is on Woodbury. Shooting the three-point shooter, Mike Chambers. You know, usually you want to run across and distract and block the vision. You don't want to make contact with someone out on the perimeter, and that's exactly what happened here. So now Mike Chambers with a chance to get into the 20-point club himself as he breaks the first free throw.
93-92. Wolves with a 1-point lead. Make it 1 of 2 so far.
Chambers up to 20, Cousins with 31. Jaleel Raleigh 14, Josh Singleton 11. Make it 21 for Chambers. And still a 1-possession game though, PD. Panthers can tie right now with a 3.
Woodbury going to Callaway. Callaway drives, draws a foul, and 1 on Raleigh.
Now Raleigh will also have to mind his P's and Q's because he's got 5 fouls now.
Got a timeout, 95-94. The Wolves lead the Panthers on your East Coast Basketball League Game of the Week with 5:53 left.
1 in 3 adults in America have pre-diabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has my mind.
One point game in your East Coast Basketball League Game of the Week is Callaway looking to make it a tie game, misses the free throw. 5:48 left. Raleigh with the ball with a 1-point lead. The Wolves in foul trouble. 2 players with 5 fouls and 1 with 4 with 2 players on the bench. Cousins for 3, his first points from the deep in the 4th.
Absolutely nothing so far from Cousins in the 4th quarter after being so hot in the 3rd.
And following a shot, and it's right out of bounds, off of Petaway.
Got to admire the hustle by Petaway, though, trying to chase down the loose ball. Just couldn't corral it and keep the possession alive for Fayetteville. Now they got to play lockdown defense and give themselves a chance to take the lead back.
Right where we stood at halftime. 1-point game. We got 1-point game with 5 minutes to go. Cousins continues cold streak here in the 4th.
Still cold. Woodbury.
Callaway driving, fouling. It's going to be on Cousins.
That's 5 on Singleton now, so.
You called it on Singleton?
Yeah, dire straits here for Winston-Salem. You've got Chambers, Singleton, and Raleigh all now with 5 fouls. So again, the Panthers, the Wolves traveled with 7. There's a real possibility that 2 of those players could foul out. You may have to have 5 guys on the floor with no substitutes.
96-95, the Panthers lead. Chambers brings it up, defended by Woodbury.
One of the players with 5 fouls right here with the basketball.
Chambers driving and kicks it right off the shoe.
Wow. Fayetteville Panthers with a chance now to increase their lead after trailing.
Stopping and popping at top of the key. Callaway, 99-95.
And Callaway now up to 31 points, matching the effort of Naquan Cousins. Feel the defensive intensity picking up for the Fayetteville Panthers, and the crowd is starting to chatter.
Raleigh trying to get away from Woodbury. Goes left side to Chambers with 3 on the shot clock. Puts it up. Does not fall. Panther with a rebound, and they save it.
Callaway almost ended up in the second row in the lap of one of our fans.
Couldn't connect on the layup. Nice feed by Petaway to George, and George wraparound layup falls out. 99-95, 3:48 left. Petaway will come into play from underneath the goal.
A bucket right now by Fayetteville will really put the Wolves in a bad spot.
Woodbury misses off the mark, and Singleton trying to chase it down and off of Singleton.
George is lucky to not have been called for an over-the-back foul against Singleton chasing down that rebound, because he went directly over his back, slapped the ball off of his shoulder, over his shoulder.
LeBron Woodbury with 20 on the shot clock, running a slow offense here with a 4-point lead, 3:33 left.
No need to be in a hurry right now. The clock is your friend.
Driving on Singleton, double clutches, couldn't connect for Petaway.
This time, knocked out of bounds off of Jeremy Smith. So the Wolves dodge a bullet, now have a chance to knock their deficit down inside of 4 or 3, but a turnover.
Cousins held scoreless here in the fourth quarter, up and under. And look at LeBron Woodbury.
Great finish at the basket by Woodbury. Oh, and equaled by Mike Chambers. Confusion reigning supreme, foul on Woodbury. Did the basket count, yes or no?
It was on the floor. So shoot 2. It's 101-95.
Trying to get the scoreboard fixed, and there it is, 101-95.
Made one of the free throws, so I'll put it up there. So it's 101-97 with 3:04 left. 2:59 Woodbury with the ball with 16 on the shot clock.
Still a lot of time left for the Wolves to knock down the deficit, take the lead back themselves. But also time for the Panthers as well.
Callaway looking for a foul. Chambers. And Jeremy Smith with the foul.
It's 3 on Jeremy Smith. And Panthers over the limit, so more free throws coming for Winston Salem. Scoring with the clock stopped when you're trailing is your friend, and Winston Salem have a chance now to bring it back within a single possession.
Three straight free throws for Chambers. It's a 3-point game. Chambers dancing with 5 fouls. Picking up 4 straight free throws with 25 points.
And 17 of those 25 in the second half.
Two-point game with 15 on the shot clock, 2:30 on the game clock. Forcing up the shot was Brown.
Chambers turned it over. And now second turnover right back to back. Chambers tried to save it inbounds, flipped it towards the midcourt line, and then as Woodbury and Petaway made their way towards midcourt, they stepped out on the far midcourt line and turned it over again. My goodness. Woodbury out there again. That's his fourth. Fouling the perimeter shooter. And I think that was all strategy by Chambers. He pulled up from well beyond the arc, saw the defender closing in on him.
Frustrated.
Yeah.
He knew Woodbury is frustrated.
And he got exactly what he wanted, which is another trip to the charity stripe.
5 straight free throws for Mike Chambers. We got a tie game, 101 apiece.
Petey, that's 9 straight free throws made for Mike Chambers. 29 points, 28 points correction, at 20 in the second half. Unbelievable game for Mike Chambers.
Callaway forces up a 3. Rakeem with a rebound. Going up, no foul. Straight defense by Cousins underneath. Standing straight up, staying out of foul trouble.
Tell you what, Petey, though, under 2 minutes to go, a 1-point game. This is what the East Coast Basketball League Game of the Week is all about.
Chambers drives. Cousins with the putback, no. Rakeem with the rebound. Callaway with numbers, drives, kiss off the window, and you can count it.
And I don't blame him for not giving it up there. He's been finishing at the rim with a high success rate. Look at the hustle. Trying to knock the ball away by the X-Man. High dribble by Chambers. Lucky not been called for a carry.
Panthers with the ball ahead. Callaway layups, good.
Wow, look at Brian Callaway finishing. He's got 35 points.
Panthers fighting. And we have a timeout.
Great awareness by
Panthers.
Chris George to call timeout, save the possession, 1:12 to go. Panthers by 3. Unbelievable game we've got going on.
With two empty nesters for the Wolves, converting to 4 points for Callaway as they lead 105-102 with just 72 ticks left on the clock.
Looking forward to a fantastic finish here. And again, it's going to be Panthers ball coming out of this timeout. What's Coach Bethea drawing up on her side of things? Take a smart shot. Let the defense come to you. Keep the ball moving. Do not turn it over. Make sure you catch it cleanly. Watch the defenders. Set screens. Move without the basketball. All of the things are being said in the huddle right now.
With a 3-point lead at home with 72 ticks left. Craig, we saw this last week in Charlotte. Same typical basketball game right here. Every game we've did this year has come down to the wire. 105-102. Panthers with the ball.
Full court press by the Winston Salem Wolves. Chambers out there again defending with 5 fouls.
Basically play keep away is moving the ball around the perimeter with 7 on the shot clock as Woodbury. Long 3 off the heel of the iron. Coming down with the rebound, and we're going to jump ball.
Got to be a foul call. I think that was on Cousins, where he came across with a Ricky Steamboat cross body block there in midair. A correction, they will call the foul on Singleton.
That's 6 on Singleton.
And that's his 6th and final foul. So now the bench for Antonio Robinson gets shortened by 50%. You've only got 1 player left. And Singleton upset. He exits with 11 points.
Nice double-double by Singleton tonight. 4-point lead Panthers' way as George looks to make it a 2-possession game.
Look at the active feet.
Raleigh not boxing out. Going back up strong on a missed free throw, and it's 108 to 102. Panthers back with the turnover. Wolves are collapsing. And it's 110 to 108. 35 ticks left. Cousins, no points in the fourth quarter. Unleashes a three, and it's nothing but nylon.
That was a bucket they needed so badly. And again, Naquan Cousins hadn't done anything in the fourth quarter until just now.
110 to 105. 28 seconds left. 4 seconds separate the shot clock and the game clock. Panthers with the ball, and you can expect a foul right out the gate by the Wolves.
28.3 on the clock. I mean, they could foul. You don't think they'll play defense again because 24 on the shot clock. That'll run it down to 4.3. So yeah, you may try to go for the steal on the inbounds first. Then if you can't get a steal within maybe the first 4 or 5 seconds, then you got to commit the foul and play the free throw fouling game. But again, the Wolves found themselves in this position because they just went ice cold and have let the Panthers hang around.
So Wolves come out on a full court press. And get it in play to Callaway. Callaway trapped off. Coming up to help Callaway, and a turnover, Petaway. Cousins for three.
Oh.
Driving and going up strong was Funderbuck.
Now it's a 3-point game with 14.5 to go. Got a foul right now.
Panthers trying to give it away. We got a foul. That's Gamble, Chuck Gamble with a foul. Sending Petaway to the line.
Tremendously big free throws. Needless to say, when you're up by 3, 7.9 to go.
Need one.
Need at least one. 2 would be even better. Give yourself a better chance to close the show.
Making the first always gives you relief on the second.
Will Coach Robinson call a timeout after this free throw? He's going to let them play it out.
We lost connection with the camera at the final, and 2.5 left. And the final score is 112 to 107. Winston-Salem Wolves suffer their second loss and move on to 5-2. The Fayetteville Panthers move on to 500, 3-3 on the season with the 112 to 107 victory. We'll come right back here inside Hope Mills Community Center in Hope Mills, North Carolina, right after word from our sponsors.
At Cardinal Family Dentistry, we are honored to serve the community of Apex by providing honest, compassionate dental care. We focus on preventative care and education to make sure all of our patients enjoy optimal dental health, and we offer judgment-free treatment if you're in need of a corrective procedure. Dr. Barker and the rest of the Cardinal Family Dentistry team want to be a resource for you when it comes to your dental health, so we always keep you well-informed and offer honest guidance to help you make the best decisions for you and your family. Give them a call today at 919-589-5001. That's 919-589-5001. Or visit them online at cardinalfamilydentistry.com.
One in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Here's 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mama. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
At Cardinal Family Dentistry, we are honored to serve the community of Apex by providing honest, compassionate dental care. We focus on preventative care and education to make sure all of our patients enjoy optimal dental health, and we offer judgment-free treatment if you're in need of a corrective procedure. Dr. Barker and the rest of the Cardinal Family Dentistry team want to be a resource for you when it comes to your dental health, so we always keep you well informed and offer honest guidance to help you make the best decisions for you and your family. Give them a call today at 919-589-5001. That's 919-589-5001. Or visit them online at cardinalfamilydentistry.com.
Hey, hon, what you doing with your phone? Taking pictures?
No, I'm asking it questions.
Like what?
Hey, Bobo, do flowers have best friends?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that. Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. Look, flowers do have best friends.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Need help planning your next sporting event? Sit back and relax. Event Management has got you covered. Whether a charity call, fundraiser, a preseason showcase, or a regular season game day operation, let Sit Back and Relax handle the details. Single game, tournament, and full season event planning and logistics services available. No matter how big or small, SBR has you covered. Just sit back and relax while the professionals...
Welcome back to Hope Mills Community Center. PD Doors, Craig Green here. What a fantastic game, Craig. Coming down to the wires, taking the Fayetteville Panthers to outscore the Winston Salem Wolves 36-21 in that fourth quarter to pick up a 5-point win.
And a 61-55 advantage in the second half as well for Fayetteville. So good job by Coach China Beth and her team to weather the storm. Again, they started off really, really slow, 16 points in the first quarter. But, you know, going from that point on, PD, again, 61-55 second half, and holding Naquan Cousins to just 3 points in the fourth quarter after surging with 15 points in the third. It's a big factor in today's game.
18 points, but I tell you, you can't take nothing away from the Winston-Salem Wolves. You can see right there why they're 5-1 on the season before today's loss. Now they moved to 5-2. Rowan County Bulls right behind them at a 4-2 record. Fayetteville Panthers right behind them at 500, 3-3 record. As the Panthers lost 10 days ago, 2 weeks ago, and now they pick up the win here, 112-107 at home in front of a nice crowd here at the Hope Mills Community Center.
And the crowd was active and chattering all throughout the game, and the Panthers give them something to cheer about here as they get their second win at home on the season, and you know, look to build on that. Again, just like you said, 3-3, good spot to be at. You know, you're basically a 500 team right now in the early part of the season. You're only a couple of games out of first, and you also have a win against the first place team. So all good things for the Fayetteville Panthers today as Victory Monday is incoming for them.
It's March Madness, and it's getting hot and heated here in East Coast Basketball League as we have another game next week. We'll be in Lotta, South Carolina, as a Carolina Thunder, the defending East Coast Basketball League champions, will be matching up with the Carolina Chosen Lions. We'll have that game next Saturday right here on the East Coast Basketball League YouTube page, also on highlevelmedianc.com. Craig, Mike Chambers, 9 straight free throws. It was running through his veins today in that fourth quarter. He carried the Wolves in the fourth quarter.
He had a 20-point second half as well, and Chambers, played with 4 fouls for quite a while. He drew his 5th in the fourth quarter, still kind of walking on eggshells. But, again, shout out to Mike Chambers, who had a fantastic second half. In losing fashion, of course, today, no moral victories in basketball here. But again, to be able to knock down those kind of free throws and those pressure moments, can't ask for much more than that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, final score from Hope Mills, North Carolina, 112-107. We're going to come right back here with the final box scores for today's game right after a word from our sponsors.
3 adults in America have pre-diabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Here's 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mom my.
Welcome back to Hope Mills Community College. Thanks to the idiot that shot the basketball and knocked us off camera, hit the camera. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you. Part of High Level Media, NC.com. Craig, final box scores for the losing side of Winston-Salem Wolves.
My final thoughts on this game are what a fantastic game, and it's all about this is exactly what the East Coast Basketball League Game of the Week is about. Close finishes, teams who are, realize that they're being watched by the whole country and the whole world right now, and stepping up and performing their best when the lights are brightest. And this is the showcase for the East Coast Basketball League each week, and we saw another great game today. We saw the Fayetteville Panthers step up and show out and get a big win today. Dare I call it an upset and keep themselves afloat here in the Northeast Division.
Final box scores for the Winston-Salem Wolves. Finishing today, Mike Chambers leads all scorers with, Cousins leads all scorers with 34, followed by Chambers 28, 14 for Raleigh, 10 for Thunderbuck, 11 for Singleton, and Gamble with 7. Callaway leads the way for the Panthers in a winning effort, move on to 500 on the season with 35, followed by Petaway with 19, Woodbury with 20, Rakeen with 16, Jeremy Smith with 11, and Green with 6. The final score is 112-107. The Fayetteville Panthers move on to 3-3 on the season. The Winston-Salem Wolves fall to 5-2 in the Northeast Division of the East Coast Basketball League. Craig, once again, thanks again. We'll do it again next Saturday from the Thunder down low in Latta, South Carolina.
Another trip down I-95, put some miles on the old family truckster. Maybe hit up south of the border on the way back, and hopefully see some great action from the defending champions taking on the Garden City Magic next week.
Final score 112-107 as the Winston-Salem Wolves fall to 5-2 on the season. On behalf of High Level Media and East Coast Basketball League, I want to thank everybody for tuning in today's action from Hope Mills Community Center in Hope Mills, North Carolina. The final score, Winston-Salem Wolves 107, your Fayetteville Panthers 112. Good night and God bless.
This copyright telecast may not be reproduced, transmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent